Well, hello again. This is Lee Thurber, I want to welcome you to another episode of Live Stream Lee. Today, we're going to continue to work on the multi-vendor marketplace app that I'm building live on Adalo.com. And before I get started, I want to just cover a couple of quick things. First of all, I want to thank you for watching and let you know that if you go to apricotrocket.com and create an account, you'll get access to my primary business, which is Apricot Rocket, which is a CRM marketing automation product. It's really a lot like HubSpot and Infusionsoft and a lot of those kinds of things. It includes a lot of technology. It is literally designed to be a business growth acceleration tool to allow you to not only manage your customer relationships, like a CRM, of course, but also to nurture those relationships and turn those customers or those prospects into customers and those customers into repeat customers. So go to apricotrocket.com. When you go there, you'll actually see our pricing for our apps, which I think you'll find to be pretty incredible, just $49.95 a month for what we call the core app, plus your choice of about a half a dozen about eight different modules that you can tack on that allow you to customize the app for your specific business needs. These are, by the way, apps that many businesses that are in the app development space would charge you $5,000 or $10,000 for, and we just charge $50 a month. So if you're interested, go to apricotrocket.com and check it out, or go to appyrocket.com and check that out. Before I get started, I want to make sure I mention a couple of people. One is Dan Nelson. Dan is a genealogist, and he's a historian, and he is a master storyteller. If you are a history buff like myself, you're going to enjoy Dan's newsletter that comes out every 2 weeks. It is a Saturday morning, about a 15-minute read. It is a really good read. It's always very interesting. And if you're a historian or you like historical stuff like I do, you're going to find it to be a lot of fun. So go to livestreamlee.com and click on the Dan Nelson link and sign up for his newsletter if you care to. He is by no means sales pitchy. I think you'll find it interesting. All right, with all that said, we're now going to just go ahead and jump in. And I want to start off today showing you what I've done. I've rearranged the app. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, maybe one click. There we go. And if you remember what the app looked like at our last meeting or our last episode, the screen layout or the workflow layout I have rearranged. And I've done this because, quite honestly, I found it a little bit confusing, and I'm experimenting with a little different layout to help make the workflow on the app just seem a little more intuitive. So this cluster of 4 screens right here is your entry point, and this is where people log in or sign up to create an account and get into the app. This screen, the home screen, is kind of where they begin navigating from. So they can click on the link down at the bottom right corner in the footer navigation, and that'll take them to the profile page. From the profile page, they can click on a button and go to the edit profile. When they save the profile, edit profile takes them back to the profile page. And then, of course, from either one of these screens, they can come back to the home screen. Now, what I've done is I've organized vendors, products, and the order process into rows instead of columns. So there's a button right here, this top green button, that takes you to the vendor list. And here is the vendor list. Now, from here, you can add yourself as a vendor using, let me just go ahead and zoom in one click. or a couple of clicks. You can upgrade to become a vendor, and currently there's no charge or anything like that to be a vendor. You upgrade to become a vendor, which brings you to the add vendor screen where you add yourself as a vendor. And then from there, I'm going to see where I can click. You also have the ability to edit yourself as a vendor, and then you can see vendor detail. Now, editing and seeing the vendor detail occurs a little differently, but bottom line is I just want to show you that this row right here is all about the vendor list, adding and editing vendors, vendor details, and basically creating shipping rates for a vendor. The next row, the center row, is your products. So there's a button over here that says view products. That takes you to the product list. You can, among other things in the product group, you can add products. You do that from your vendor detail. You add products. You can edit products, and you can see product detail. And if you decide you want to, you can delete a product. And then regarding orders. Okay, so from the product list, you can put products into the cart, which is the order items page, and then you can check out. Now, in the checkout process, you may very well want to, depending upon what kind of product you're buying and what the vendor requires, you'll have to select a shipping rate. So when you click to select a shipping rate, you come to this page and then you come back, and that's part of the checkout process. When you pay, you click on the Pay Now button, and that gives you an order success. And then from there, you can go to the profile page, and on the profile page, you have a list of order items and or orders, and then you click on the order, and it takes you to the detail for that order. And that is currently the sequence. So I rearranged to hopefully make it just seem a little bit more clear and logical, because I was having a little trouble following the vertical layout. So that's something that I did before this particular episode. So we're going to clean up a few things and just kind of make this look a little bit more polished. I'm going to click on preview, and we're just going to kind of go through a few things. First of all, I'm going to look at the profile page. So here on the profile page, I've got some issues. Okay, so I've got an account set up for Tommy T. Thomas, and I've got a phone number. But look at the formatting for that number. It's got commas. It doesn't really look like a phone number. My zip code over here also has a comma like a number. And look, the Land Rover has the number 1, and then the Porsche 1.3. They don't really have number layouts. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the profile page, and I'm going to fix those issues. Okay, so here's the profile page up here at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight it and zoom in, and I'm going to highlight it and zoom out. Here we go. So on the phone number, I'm going to double click on the phone number, and I'm going to click on the phone number chip over here on the left, and I'm going to change the number format from default to none. Okay, so there's no. Now, one thing that Adalo doesn't have, and this is, I think, something that they should have, is a phone number, US standard phone number layout formatting for numbers, but they don't have that. So the easiest way to do this at the moment, there are some tricks you can do, but the easiest way to do this at the moment is just to make it a single number. So I've done that. I've made it no number format. Now I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do the same thing with a zip code. So I'm going to click on the chip there, the little chip, and I'm going to change it to none. Then I'm going to come down here to the list, and I'm going to go to the order item price, and I'm going to change that to currency. Okay, so now with all of those changes done, I'm just going to click on preview. We're going to go back, and we're going to look at our profile page, and we're going to see how it looks now. So I'm going to click on the profile page, and the zip code looks exactly the way it should. The phone number field still doesn't look like a phone number the way you'd like it to look, but at least it doesn't have commas in there, so it is better. Now the Land Rover is, I've currently got the price set at 95 cents and the Porsche at $1.27, and so you see that they're showing the way they should. Now, if I click on the Land Rover, that takes me to the cart, and it shows me the cart for the Land Rover, and we have some issues here. The issue here is that I've got a quantity that shows as 1 on both of these, but I actually only have one Land Rover. I don't have a Porsche. The reason is because I don't have a delete button added to that cart item. And so even though I show quantity 1, I don't actually have one here. You can tell by the total price. And here I'd like to put a delete button in, and then I'd like to be able to notice if I add one, now I've got one here added. I add another one. I've got one here added, but the quantity just continues to show 1. So we may have to backtrack, but that's not, I don't like that. We want to fix that issue. So we're going to now go to the cart page, and the cart page is here. It's the order items page. So I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to zoom in, zoom out, zoom in a little bit. There we go. That's the detail that I want. And so the first thing that we want to do is we want to look at this order items number right here. Quantity order items shows to be 1. Okay, so where do we get into the cart? Okay, we get into the cart. Notice the arrow coming in. We get into the cart from the product list. And what we do is we click on the shopping cart icon to add the item to the cart. So if I click here, which I already have, into the products, I have all products, you'll see that if I click on a product, I go to the product detail. So that's, there's nothing there that I need to change at the moment. But what I need to do is I need to go into this little add to shopping cart, and you'll see I'm creating an order, and then I'm linking to the order item. So let's go in here to the order and see what I'm doing when I create the order. Now look here. I create the order item quantity is 1. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm sending a single item from the product list to the cart when I click on the add this add to cart link. Okay, so now if I come back down to the cart here and I double click, you'll see that I've got order item quantity is 1. And if I click here, actually what I want to do is I want to look at the list. And so I'm going to call this, I'm actually just going to change this header to call it order items. And that's the order items pages. Order items, all order items. Okay, so this is actually a list. We're just showing a single cell. And inside the list, it's got the order item quantity here is being shown of whatever that is. Now, if I click the down button or the up button, I update the order item. Okay, so if I click the down button, I update the order item. Let's go in here and see what I do. So I update the order item quantity by taking the order item quantity minus 1. And so I'm resetting the order item quantity, but that's not being reflected in this order item quantity. So order item quantity, order item quantity, it's not being reflected. Okay, and so I'm not quite sure how we want to do that, but it would be nice to actually see the quantity showing up correctly. Now, the next thing that happens when I do a -1, so I do an update on the order item quantity, and then I update the order item. So update order item, update order item. So I now have order item quantity no change, but it should have been reduced. And then I'm calculating the total price, which gets reflected here in this total price field here. If I do a +1, the same things happen, except for instead of a -1, it's a +1. So on the first update order item, I'm taking the old order item quantity and I'm adding 1 to it. So we're resetting order item quantity to equal the old order item +1. Now, then we calculate based upon the new order item quantity. That's in the first update order item. Okay, so I'm going to save that. The second update order item, we take the new quantity, whatever that is, order item quantity, no change, and we multiply the price times the order item quantity. Okay, and that's what gives us our total price. But the challenge is we're not getting the order item quantity to be reflected correctly, and I don't quite honestly know why. So what I'm going to do, what I think may be going on, is I'm actually going to go here and I'm going to get rid of the original order item quantity, and I'm going to now go back and put in the variable again. Sometimes that will fix things. So now that I've done that, I'm going to click preview, and we're going to just go ahead and do what we did before. We're going to click on as soon as it loads, we're going to click on the profile link. And now from the profile link, we're going to click on here, just on this Land Rover, and we're going to go to the cart. And we see a 1 and we see a 2. Now if I go up, looky there, it shows 3. If I go down, it shows 2. If I go down again, it'll change from 2 to a 1. If I go down here, it'll change from a 1 to a 0. So now, because we just simply updated that field variable, it is now correctly capturing the quantity. Okay, so we've got that item fixed. Next, let's add a delete button. So we're going to come back over here and we're going to add a delete button over here on the right-hand side. So I'm going to choose the components. I'm going to come down to my buttons. I'm going to choose an icon button. I'm just going to drag an icon over here as a placeholder. Now I'm going to come back over to the column. I'm going to click. I'm going to select delete. I'm going to choose this big X, and I'm going to call this icon the delete order item. So we're going to say done. And now that's what we're calling it, but we need to give it an action. So we're going to add an action. We're going to delete the current order item. Okay, so let's go ahead and say done on that. So now let's go look at our preview. And again, we're going to go to here, we're going to go to the Land Rover, and you'll see that we have 2 items and we have a delete button. So in this particular case, what I want to do is I want to buy the Land Rover and I want to get rid of the Porsche. So I should be able to just click the delete button, and now I've got rid of the Porsche and I just have the Land Rover in this cart. Now, what I'm going to do next is, for testing purposes, I want to be able to perform quite a few sequence of tests. And I don't want to have to mess with the card every single time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a button right above here temporarily that allows me to just go ahead and click the pay now, but it's not going to trigger the card process. So this is a way to facilitate your testing. So I'm just going to go to my components. I'm going to add a button. I'm just going to go drag it over in the middle, and I'm going to just give it pay. I'm going to get rid of the little plus sign icon, and let's just go pay now. We'll put pay now there, and we're going to pretend like we're paying. But what happens when you click the pay now button? Okay, so if I go to the shopping cart that we set up, well, we have the payment amount. We don't really need to collect the payment amount, or do we? Actually, we don't really need to collect the payment amount because we calculate that up here in the amount to pay. But you know what we really do want to do is we do want to record the payment amount in the order, and we want to basically set the order as being completed. So if I come down, and since I've still highlighted the payment area, and I click on the submit button, you'll see that we have a create order and we have a link to profile. In the create order, we do a number of things. We give the order a name, and that's really actually all we do is we give the order a name at this point. So let's create order. All right, so we're giving the order a name. So let's go to the Pay Now button, and we're going to give an action, create order. And we're going to give the order a name. Okay, so I'm going to give the order the name of the logged in user full name, and the we're going to give the current day, current time, and then we're going to give the current order item, order total price. Okay, so these three variables should be unique. The person that's buying, the date and time, and the total for the order, those are identifiers that are now the order name. Okay, so we're just going to go, let's see, order item. Let's see here what our choices are. Current order item. Let's see, order item, current order item. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click done. And now we're going to come back over here, and on our button, we also link to the profile page. So let's go ahead and do the same thing so that the two function exactly the same. We're going to come down here and link to the profile page, and we're going to send the current order and the current order item to the profile page. I'm going to click done, and now I should be able to perform some tests. Okay, so it's loading. I went ahead and clicked the, so let's do this. Let's go to view products, and let's fix this while we're at it. Notice that the products don't have, they're set up as, they don't have integer, they don't have decimals, so they're not set up correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the product list page. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Here's the product list page. And we're going to go into the product price. And we're going to click on the little chip here. We're going to make the product price currency. And because currency shows dollars, we're going to get rid of the dollar that we put in front. And that'll fix that. The product will now show. Okay, so let's go back over here. And we're going to put two items in this order. So we're going to create a new order. I'm going to go to View Products. I'm going to add Land Cruiser. So I'm going to click to add the Land Cruiser. And okay, so it's got the Land Cruiser and the Land Rover. So I'm going to get rid of the Land Rover. Now I'm going to click the back button, and I'm going to add the BMW X50. So add it to the cart. And now we have the BMW X50 and the Land Cruiser. We've got one of each, and so we don't have a subtotal showing. All right, so we actually should have a subtotal. Let's see what happens if I click plus. Okay, so if I click the plus, it adds the correct amount here, 2 times 125. If I click the minus, it puts a 0 in the quantity and a 0 here and a plus. So I'm getting the correct amount when I show the, when I do a plus or a minus. That's not quite as nice and smooth as we'd really like it to be. It works, but again, it's not quite as nice and smooth as we'd really like it to be. So we're going to need to look into that and see if we can't fix it. So we've got 2 at 125 is 250, and we've got 1 at 165 is 3, so 350, 417 plus tax. And now if we clicked our shipping, I'm going to go ahead and choose local delivery. Local delivery, I think, is set to $5. Yep, that's $5. So that gives us $6.81. Amount to pay, $5 plus 451 equals 681. You know what? That doesn't look right to me. We have something wrong in our math here. So we need to go back through and we need to check our math. And unfortunately, we're really just about out of time, but I think we may have enough time to check our math. All right, so if I come down to this amount to pay, and I look at our custom formula, okay, we have U.S. sales tax rate times order item total price, plus order item total price, plus shipping option rate. Okay, so I'm going to just try this. I'm going to, let's see here. Can I put my cursor in front? I can, so I'm gonna put a comma, an open parent. Let's see if I can get my cursor right behind. I can't, but if I put my cursor right in front of this little plus sign here, is it going to let me do that? No, it's not going to let me do that. So how do I, there we go. Now I'm going to put a closed parent. Okay, so I've put those two inside of a parent. That shouldn't have mattered. So I've got order item total price times the tax rate, plus the order item total price, plus the shipping option rate. So, okay, now let's see. Shipping option rate, what do I have? Order item total price. We need to look at that because all of the other order items we have been doing a little. So let's go to the sum order item total price. Oh, you know what? We didn't do the sum order item total price. We only did the order item total price. So that is probably what we messed up with. So if I click here, let's see if it's going to let me put that variable in. Current order item, order items, order item total price sum. There we go. That was the missing variable. I used the wrong variable. Okay, sum order item total price and order item total price. Oh, I got it in the wrong spot. It didn't put it to where I wanted it to go. So now you know what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to completely rebuild all of this. Okay, so it won't let us just go in and change the variables. Okay, so we're going to go with current order item, orders, order items, order item total sum. Okay, and we're going to see if we can. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the functions. We're going to insert a function. Then we're going to come back, and then we're going to make that times the shipping rate. Okay, current order item. Logged in user, not the shipping rate. We're times the sales tax rate. Okay, and then I'm going to add another function and round. Okay, so now we're going to come and we're going to go plus the shipping rate. Shipping, let's see, current order items, shipping rate, and then see if we can get the cursor. There we go, the plus. Now we're going to do the sum of the current order items. Okay, so we're going to do current order items, order items, order items, order item total price sum. All right, now we've changed our value. So let's go to preview. And now if we go back to our profile, and let's go into this one. And so now if we choose a shipping option of the local delivery, and we have 5, amount to pay 5. Okay, so we still have a bug in our formula. So at this point, we've run out of time. I'm going to have to save the debug until tomorrow, which is what we'll continue working on. This is the way it goes. So I hope you're I hope you're enjoying watching the process, because sometimes you just kind of have to play with the numbers to see whether or not the numbers are going to play back and play the way you want them to. So I also want to mention somebody else to you that is worth knowing. So back in the background up here, let's see, there we go. You see my little Star Trek character who's got a blue shirt with a logo on it, which is the Apricot Rocket logo. I got my corporate swag from a guy named Bob Hurt. And Bob is in the corporate clothing and corporate branded apparel business. And he's been doing this for 50 years. Nobody you're ever going to meet is going to get you a better price and have a better understanding of how to get you the value that you're looking for than Bob. Bob deals with high volume, low volume. He can get one T-shirt printed, one shirt printed, a variety of different formats, silk screen, embroidery, something called sublimation, vinyl press on. There's a whole lot of ways that he can decorate. He's incredible at what he does. And if you're interested in some great prices on some really high quality corporate apparel, go to livestreamlee.com and click on the Bob Hurt link and get in touch with Bob. Bob will take great care of you. All right, that's it for today. Come back tomorrow, 3 o'clock, and we'll show you how we debug these issues as we continue building the app. Hope you're enjoying your day. Thanks. Bye.